Seven Wonders of the Ancient World. Number 1. Great Pyramid of Giza. Great Pyramid of Giza is the largest of the three pyramids of Giza, located on a rocky plateau on the west bank of the Nile River in northern Egypt. It was built by Khufu, Cheops, the second king of Egypt's 4th dynasty, and was completed in the early 25th century BCE. The pyramids of Giza are often collectively considered one of the seven wonders of the world, and they are the last of the wonders still standing. According to the ancient Greek historian Herodotus, the Great Pyramid took 20 years to construct and required the labor of 100,000 men. The Great Pyramid is one of the largest buildings ever constructed. It originally stood about 482 feet, 147 meters, tall, but erosion and the removal of most of the polished limestone casing stones. Number 2. Colossus of Rhodes. Colossus of Rhodes, colossal statue of the sun god Helios that stood in the ancient Greek city of Rhodes and was one of the seven wonders of the world. The sculptor Chares of Lindus created the statue, which commemorated the raising of Demetrius Poliorcetes' long siege, 305 BCE, of Rhodes. Made of bronze and reinforced with iron, it was weighted with stones. The Colossus was said to be 105 feet, 32 meters, high. The statue, which took 12 years to build, was toppled by an earthquake about 226 BCE. Number 3. Hanging Gardens of Babylon. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon were the fabled gardens which beautified the capital of the Neo-Babylonian Empire, built by its greatest king Nebuchadnezzar II, 605 to 562 BCE. They are the only wonder whose existence is disputed amongst historians. Some scholars claim the gardens were not in Babylon but actually at Nineveh, capital of the Assyrian Empire, while others await archaeology to provide positive proof. Some scholars believe the gardens are merely a figment of the ancient imagination, but ancient writers describe the gardens as if they were at Nebuchadnezzar's capital and still in existence in Hellenistic times. Number 4. Lighthouse of Alexandria. Lighthouse of Alexandria is one of the seven wonders of the world and the most famous lighthouse in antiquity. It was built by Sostratus of Cnidus, perhaps for Ptolemy I Soter, and it was finished during the reign of Soter's son Ptolemy II of Egypt in about 280 BCE. The lighthouse stood on the island of Pharos in the harbor of Alexandria and is said to have been more than 350 feet, 110 meters, high. The only taller man-made structures at the time would have been the pyramids of Giza. Number 5. Mausoleum at Halicarnassus. Mausoleum of Halicarnassus is one of the seven wonders of the world. The monument was the tomb of Mausolus, ruler of Korea, in southwestern Asia Minor. It was built in his capital city, Halicarnassus, between about 353 and 351 BCE by his sister and widow, Artemisia II. The building was designed by the Greek architects Pythias and Satyros. The sculptures that adorned it were the work of four leading Greek artists, Scopas, Bryaxis, Leocares, and Timotheus. The monument was 411 feet, 125 meters, high. It was bounded by 36 columns, and the top formed a 24-step pyramid surmounted by a 4-horse marble chariot. The mausoleum was probably destroyed by an earthquake between the 11th and the 15th century CE, and the stones were reused in local buildings. Number 6. Statue of Zeus at Olympia. Statue of Zeus, at Olympia, Greece, was one of the seven wonders of the world. The statue was one of the masterpieces by the Greek sculptor Phidias and was placed in the huge temple of Zeus at Olympia in western Greece. The statue, almost 12 meters, 40 feet, high and plated with gold and ivory, represented the god sitting on an elaborate cedarwood throne ornamented with ebony, ivory, gold, and precious stones. On his outstretched right hand was a statue of Nike, Victory, and in the god's left hand was a scepter on which an eagle was perched. The statue, which took 8 years to construct, was noted for the divine majesty and goodness it expressed. The discovery in the 1950s of the remains of Phidias' workshop at Olympia confirmed the statue's date of about 430 BCE. The temple was destroyed in 426 CE, and the statue may have been destroyed then or in a fire at Constantinople, now Istanbul, about 50 years later. Number 7. Temple of Artemis. The Temple of Artemis at Ephesus was located on the western coast of Asia Minor, modern Turkey. The Great Temple was built by Croesus, king of Lydia, about 550 BCE and was rebuilt after being burned by a madman named Herostratus in 356 BCE. Today only the foundations and a solitary column stand as a reminder of the site where once stood the greatest temple in the ancient Mediterranean. The temple was destroyed again by invading Goths in 262 CE and was never rebuilt. We hope you have enjoyed watching the video. We will come back soon with more wonders.